Welcome back guys. So Nasdaq is in the process of printing this engulfing candle on the monthly time frame. So does this mean a mega crash has started? Today we will talk about Nasdaq 100, SPY, S&P 500 with a very important comparison with the US interest rates, and then we will take a look at Apple and Tesla. So let's quickly jump into the daily chart and see what is happening today. So we got a perfect rejection from the resistance line that we had drawn before at 15,300. However, look at what is happening right now on this daily chart. In terms of the structure itself, yesterday's low was around 14,950 and market is still above this, so we are still making a higher low just like we did over here. So this whole week we have been getting higher lows, so still we are in some sort of an uptrend. However, you can see this candle is actually quite bearish. Market is taking profit. And as we are approaching the Jackson Hole symposium, then market is getting fearful about the Fed's intentions and what they will do over the next few months. Hence, this uncertainty is currently putting a lot of pressure on the market, and that has been reflected in today's trading. Now, let me zoom out and see further. We had this level of 14,700 before. Market tried to bounce from here. So there is a chance that price might actually just drop back here and try to bounce. Now, this can be further looked at in this way. Look at this trend line that we had. So we had a breakout over here, and there is a chance the market drops to retest this and then try to bounce from here. So this is one of the possibilities. The other possibility would be then looking towards the left side. You can see these lows over here, 14,300. So price drops to these levels, meets the green 50 moving average. That would mean that the price would be making a lower low, and probably the RSI would either be flat or a little bit higher. So some bullish divergence would start to form on 14,300, and then we might try to see a nice bounce over here. But for now, like I said, still we are making higher lows, so still in an uptrend, testing the 15,000 psychological level currently, which is very important because the market is red today. So let's see other patterns that are possible, and I would like to show you something of this sort which is happening. So there is a chance of this head and shoulder pattern that might start to develop, and in case we see a full breakdown from this head and shoulder pattern, we are looking somewhere around here, because if I zoom out, look at this. This was one of the peaks, and let me put a line over here. This is 13,700. Look at this. This is coinciding with the bottom part of this channel. It is coinciding with this red 200 moving average. So this is one of the extreme scenarios that can happen from this head and shoulder pattern. But I think for now, as long as we are staying in this range, 14,700, 1500 area, we see a rejection, come back down and make the lower low that I was talking about. I think a bounce from there would be actually very good. Now, if I zoom in, I want to show you the fib levels based on the recent move only, which is this one over here. So you can see that the 0.5 is at 15,250, which is the start of the gold zone, and the market has rejected very strongly from here. So now the 236 level is sitting at 14,885. So there is a chance we might see a retest of this, but then that would take out the low of the previous day, so we will get a lower low, and that would point more towards a bearish scenario, as that would convert this candle into an engulfing bearish also. So just by looking at this daily chart, me personally, I am more inclined towards the scenario where price comes into this range 14,400 till 14,700 and then try to bounce from here. So that is my opinion on this currently. Let's just quickly jump into the 4-hour and see also what is happening. So another way to look at this would be this short-term trend, very short-term trend. Look at this. So it is very important to maintain the 15,000 psychological level and then try to keep up from there. That is the sort of action we want to see. Also, the 50 moving average on the 4-hour chart, which is over here, is around 15,000. So that is what is being tested right now. So very critical retest is happening in the market. So yes, me personally looking for this lower low and hopefully a divergence over here, which might help us push the price back up. Now let's quickly jump over to the SPY and see what is happening over there. Now, if I zoom into this weekly chart, look at this short-term support that is available roughly in this region, which is around 438 till 430, and this is actually important. Why? Let me zoom out a bit and show you. Look at this peak in volume appearing on the right side. So price has dropped back in, and price is trying to find support in this region of volume. Once again, we are seeing that the price is making a higher low, so still we cannot say that the downtrend has started. As you can see that the RSI is in a lower low fashion, so there is some divergence forming over here. However, my personal concern at this moment would be this large peak in volume that is currently sitting at 410, 415, and you can see lot of action here previously. So there is a chance that price might just dip into this area and then try to bounce from here. And when the price dips into this area, that would roughly take the RSI somewhere into the 35-30 range. And when the price meets this demand area, there is quite the chance we might see a upward trend coming back into the market. Now let's quickly draw the fib levels from the recent lows to the recent highs and look at what is happening. The 236 level is sitting at 435, and this is what is getting tested recently. And the 0.5 level is actually sitting at this volume area of 410. So it is quite possible that there is a drop into this and then market tries to bounce from here. So this is what is happening on the weekly. Now let's quickly jump into the daily chart, and very similar to Nasdaq 100, we are still in this uptrend and we are making higher lows, but the problem is we have started to form this bear flag right now. It is important for the price to break outside this and hopefully close somewhere 450, 455 up just above this, so that can help the price break out of this bear flag. Otherwise, if we see a like to like breakdown from this bear flag, so what are we talking about? Look at this. Once again we are reaching this volume area around 410, 415, so this is something to be very careful of right now. And similar to Nasdaq, this was the downtrend which has been broken actually, and we are just testing this. So that's why I am saying still we cannot say that this is a bearish scenario right now. We just have to wait and see for the next few days what happens. So just like the Nasdaq, it is possible that the price makes a lower low, something of this sort, which would mean that this area over here might come into play. This is 430 till 425, and that would start giving us a divergence, and hopefully we pump from there. Small peak in volume is available in same range also, but once again overall my concern on the SPY would be this huge peak in volume at 410, 415. So this is the sort of price where the market is really interested, so quite the chance we might see the pullback into this area. Now let's just check the fib levels on this move itself also, and price was not even able to reach the 0.5 level at 446, and we are seeing a rejection going towards the 236 level sitting at 439. Now that we have looked at SPY, let's jump into the SP500 because there is one very important comparison I want to show you. Of course, first of all, this is the resistance line we had before, 4450, and we are seeing a perfect rejection from here. Similarly, we are getting the same bear flag scenario over here towards the downside. As first support we have 4350, roughly this area where the 50 moving average is also available. And similar to SPY, you can see this peak in volume which is sitting at 4150. So in case this head and shoulder pattern starts to develop and we have a full breakdown, we are talking about a major retracement towards the 4150 range. So from current price, this would mean a drop of roughly 6% or 275 points. So this is an extreme scenario that is possible. We cannot just ignore this. Now the important comparison I want to show you is look at the S&P 500 over here, and this orange line actually is the US Fed interest rate, and there is some very interesting correlation over here. Let me show you very quickly. So interest rate increase, then they hold for roughly 6 to 12 months, then there is a huge drop, and let's see what happens over here. Whenever there is a flattening of interest rate, look at this market top that we get, then there is a sudden decline in the interest rates. That is when major crash happens, and once again interest rate was pumping flat for roughly 1 year. Look at this top we got, and huge drop again coinciding with this drop in the market. So this was the dot-com bubble actually. This is the 2008 financial crisis. Now if I keep moving to the right, look at this pump in interest rate, again flat for 6 months, then we got this peak and drop from COVID, and look at the insane pump we have seen in the rates. So imagine when the rates are flat, and once they start declining sharply, that is when we will see a major drop in the market. But during this flattening over here, we are expecting to actually see a new top on the market. Hopefully we will cross 4800, hopefully we will go somewhere around the 5000 mark, and that is from where we will see a sharp decline and a major correction can happen. Let me just quickly get rid of all of this because I will show you what this correction actually looks like, because this is very serious. Look at this 50% drop over here. Let's talk about this one. one, another 55%. Then we have got COVID, so we are talking about another 35%. So let's assume somewhere over here 4950 and talking about 30-40% drop in the market. So you can see we are talking about somewhere 2950 3000. This is what can happen on the S&P 500. So we have to be careful of this long-term trend that might play out. So now we have talked about the indexes. Let me quickly jump over to the heat map and show you what is happening this week. So technology services are in green, electronic services again in green. Of course, Nvidia announced their results, so they are performing very well right now. But other than this, generally we are seeing red in the market. So talking about all the index, let's quickly jump into the fear and greed index. Look at this, we are in the neutral range at 47. Just last month we were in extreme greed, and at that time I was talking about there will be a dip into the neutral range or the fear area, and we are here right now. Hopefully we continue back upwards towards the greed section. So now let's talk about Apple very quickly, because that is one of the largest stocks we have in the US stock market. So look at this retracement here right into the peak of volume, and the price is showing a nice bounce from this region. If I zoom in over here, so we were seeing a nice uptrend, but today we are making a lower low, so this is not good. But the key thing is in the short term we are looking for 175, 176. This area needs to hold. A lot of action was here before also, so if you are able to hold this area and maybe consolidate over here for few days and try to pump back up, where we might try to close this gap over here and touch this peak in volume. We are talking about 190, 150 on Aapl, because you can see that the price was making a lower low and the RSI was almost flat in this region of volume. Hence we saw some recovery towards the upside. Now let me quickly put up the fib levels on this recent move itself, and we are seeing a rejection from the 382 level moving towards the 236 level sitting at 177. So this is what is happening on this short term trend. But let's take a look at the larger trend itself, and price got rejected from the 236 at 180, and now we are, and the next fib level is the 382 sitting on 170. Now this is very important, because if I zoom out and show you that once again this peak 170, 175 is actually quite important. A lot of action was here previously and price just dipped into this range, and we are trying to see a bounce from here, especially given that the RSI went into the oversold region. And as we have seen time and time again on Apple, that whenever we see oversold RSIs, there's generally a nice pump in the market. So hopefully this will follow suit and we will continue towards the upside. Next, let's quickly take a look at Tesla, because this is also creating a very nice pattern. So you can see that the price action is like this. There's a higher low on the market and then lower low on the RSI on the daily. Hence we have got actually a bullish divergence forming over here. Let me zoom in and show you further. The red 200 moving and the green 50 moving average is also available here, and price is trying to consolidate in this region. So this is actually good. Still we haven't made a new lower low on the day itself, so this is still good. I think as long as we stay above this trend line, we are doing pretty well, because if you look at this super trend and if price bounce from here, we are looking for an insane target of roughly 325, 340. So from the current price itself, this is somewhere around 40% gain. But just like the indexes, there is one thing to be very careful of, which is this peak in volume. This is sitting at 195 roughly, so there is a chance there might be a dip into this area and then price might try to bounce back from here. So for the long term, yes, can pick some over here, then maybe wait for 185, 190, pick some there. That will help you create an average price of roughly 200, and even if the price bounces towards the $250 mark, that means a 25% gain. So this is what is happening overall in the market. Do let us know what are your thoughts regarding all of this. Do you think a major crash is now coming, or this is just a retest of key levels and we will continue back upwards? If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Hit the bell notification so you are notified whenever we upload a new video. And a gentle reminder, market is extremely volatile. If you are actively trading, please consider using proper risk management. Thank you for watching.